What was
But
the...
if I may, so Pyong, you're in the legal profession. Isn't there a principle in law when a crime occurs called cui bono? I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Who benefits? So so when a crime happens, one of the first parts of an investigation is who benefits. So if a man or a woman who's married gets murdered, usually the first person they want to rule out is the spouse, because they would get the insurance benefits and all of that. So so is it not reasonable to ask of any kind of a crime who benefits, and to at least to rule out those people that are involved? And
I think the problem with that, though, is that you can say that the government can benefit from any crime. So I think that would pose a problem looking at it in that way.
Okay,
No.
I've got your answer, guys. Okay, they weren't that close together, but I suppose in the grand scheme of things, they were 6 months apart.
Yeah.
And it was in Colorado. It was in Colorado, Aurora, Colorado.
Yeah. Jeff, basically, I mean, you're kind of, I'm not trying to be pedantic here, but you're conflating.
No, I was asking you for your expertise.
Yeah.
So
okay. The actual investigation, like I told you, they're going to collect evidence, and in that point, they're going to try to establish a motive. When you're presenting evidence in a court setting, the only time really, I'm trying to think here after you ask that, but I think the only time you're really going to be considering motive is, yes, it's part of the narrative for sure, but it's also going to facilitate getting around sometimes hearsay, the presentation of hearsay evidence.
Well, no, but I'm sorry, I wasn't talking about the court setting. I'm talking about the investigation. So if if something happens to me, the first one they're going to really interrogate is my wife.
Right, but see, the presence of a motive with nothing more.
That can be dismissed. Yeah, right. Of course, yes, that can be dismissed.
Yeah, but so they look. I suppose yes, they look for a motive. Is that what you wanted to say?
Well, I want you to say whatever you want to say, but what I'm getting at is the problem with things like presidential assassinations is that in the case of the JFK assassination, one of the supreme beneficiaries would have been the vice president.
Yeah, but
that doesn't mean. Hold on, let me just finish my thought. That doesn't mean he did it, but he's not investigated. Not only was he not investigated, but he appointed the Warren Commission, handpicked who was on the Warren Commission to give this official narrative of what happened.
Yeah, John.
Well, I think he was looked at, mainly because partly to do with the.
Well, looked at by who?
But you have to understand, this is all suspicion. You're saying this is suspicious. I think this is suspicious. We need more investigation. Okay.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't have a.
What's the narrative? Who killed JFK? When did they do it? Where were they shooting from? That's the kind of stuff that you have to establish if you want me, who I believe I have what I think of as a good.
I don't necessarily want you to do anything. I'm just saying that this is an unsettled matter.
So what's the purpose of the communication then? It's just interesting.
Because I think what Jeff is saying is that there's some doubts there
I know what he's saying.
What exactly happened.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
And so there's legitimate reason.
And it's not crazy to have an alternate narrative.
There's a legitimate reason to think that it's not.
Eve, I understand. Thank you. There is no narrative.
Yeah, I just wanted to have an input here, but
go ahead.
You have to give me the narrative, Jeff. It's not sufficient to say something suspicious. Okay, it's suspicious. Where do we go from there? What do you want to do next?
Okay.
Go ahead, Eve wanted to say something.
No, that's all right. It seems like everybody else wants to kind of talk, so there you go.
I'll just jump in. Okay, what I wanted to say just quickly on Pyong's behalf is he wants to look at things scientifically. Can you not see that, Jeff?
It doesn't have anything to do necessarily with science. Rather,
Logic.
Again, what is the reason? Like just the question I just posed to Jeff. What's the reason for the communication? Are you going to convince me that I don't know whatever JFK was done by the vice president? Okay, what's the narrative? I mean,
no. Here's the thing.
There's something rotten in Denmark. We need to do more investigation. I've heard it before.
Okay, so the way these things tend to shake out is so there was the Kennedy assassination. There was I think most people would agree there was not an adequate investigation about it.
Your assertion. Go ahead. We'll stipulate. It's your assertion. Go ahead.
One of the
doesn't matter what most people do. Just tell me what you're saying.
One of the okay, Mr. Prosecutor, let me finish.
Okay, I don't agree with it, Jeff. I don't agree. I think it was an adequate.
Okay, well let me ask.
Okay, I don't.
Now we're done. We're stopped, right?
What?
Just tell me what you want to say, Jeff.
I'm trying to, but you keep interrupting me.
Okay, let him finish. John, go ahead, Jeff. Finish.
Okay, so the vice president has never been investigated in any presidential assassination, and in fact, in the case of the Kennedy assassination, the vice president was put in charge of the investigation.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have been a suspect anyway, Jeff, because JFK was shot, and Lyndon Johnson wasn't the.
Lyndon Johnson benefited enormously. You want
no, that's not the way it starts. I was just trying to explain to you. That's not the way an investigation starts. What started was the president was in the car.
That's the way a normal investigation.
No, you're not letting me finish. No, it's not. An investigation goes on what happened. JFK was in a car. He was shot. So therefore, you wouldn't immediately think, oh, well, the vice president is going to benefit.
You would just think this was a random thing. Some kid just shot him, or some.
But you wouldn't immediately question the vice president, Jeff.
I think
I
haven't finished it.
You look for who would benefit by that if it's a murder.
No, you don't. The first thing you'd look for is a person with a gun.
Well, yes, of course.
Can I just say?
So you wouldn't immediately.
There's quite a backstory to the shooter. It's not like he was some random bloke. He's got there's a massive story to why he did it.
Yes, exactly. It's not like, this is just a drive-by random shooting.
No, that's not what we're saying, Jeff. Jeff, you asked for expertise, and when you're given it, you're hand-waving it.
Okay.
Wait a second.
I don't know.
Again, it's okay, Jeff.
Really...
I mean, hey, if what you're saying is there's something rotten in Denmark,
fine.
We need more investigation about it.
Well,
okay.
Duh.
Okay, there's something rotten in Denmark. What are you, crazy? Of course there's something suspicious. Okay,
I mean, I'm
what
an
happened, Jeff?
Okay, I'm an investigator, and Pyong is a lawyer. You've asked people for their expertise. When they're offering it to you, then saying no and hand-waving it away.
Well, I just want to
the first thing that would have been investigated, one of the last things that would have been investigated in relation to JFK would have been what the vice president had to do with it.
Well,
they didn't accuse Jackie. Why didn't they accuse Jackie Kennedy straight away? She was his wife.
I'm sure they did. But
I already pointed this out to you, and I'm sorry. So yes, okay. So the president gets shot, and we're like, oh, well, did the bullet come from here or whatever? And that guy did it. Okay, that's the end of it.
No, you're putting words in mouth.
Will you please be quiet? I'm trying to finish my.
Well, then don't talk shit. You won't get interrupted. Then
will you stop interrupting me?
Killer.
You're making stuff up now.
Okay, well, if you guys go ahead, have a party. Go ahead, talk whatever you want to do. I don't care.
Okay, let me say
this. Then you asked for expertise.
I'm trying to apply logic to this situation.
It's not logical though, Jeff. That's the problem.
Well, you haven't even heard what I said.
But you're assuming that you immediately go for who you said. Oh well, we'll look for a guy and he did it. That's the end of it. No, that's not how it works at all.
If you don't know why why this killer happened, if it was a hired killer, or if it was just a lone gunman, if you don't know that, then you have to do an adequate investigation. You have to say who benefits. So, like, if your spouse gets
straight away, no.
Will you stop interrupting me?
Because you're wrong, Jeff. You're not an investigator.
You're not even letting me.
You don't know how it works.
Go ahead.
You've asked how it works. Trying to tell you how it works, and you're saying no.
Go ahead, talk. Okay. Have a party.
Oh, okay, bye, Jeff. Listen, let me go at it a different way, maybe. Okay, I understand what you're saying, Jeff.
You don't understand. I haven't finished.
Yeah,
Jeff, let me finish.
Jeff, I understand what you're
okay, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, because you've channeled your mind into me.
Would it just be easier if we say you're right?
No,
Let
it
me-
would be
let me-
easier if you
let me
let
just
me finish
let me just tell you something.
Then wave it
All
away.
right, you guys, this is really getting tiresome. I am going to leave because I'm
No,
Okay,
this
Jeff,
is boring.
Jeff.
This is
Usually.
really boring. This is not a conversation.
The
This is
thing
not
that
a
you have to
conversation.
understand is
Jeff.
that when you go into like any kind of fact gathering official process, it's never going to be perfect. And one of the things that I tell people all the time is you can read a court case and you get the official statement of the court, the opinion of the court. And you can never be certain that that is what really happened, because that's not what happened. That's just what they can prove. You see what I'm saying? So it could be, and as a matter of fact, don't take this the wrong way, I would say that there are almost certainly aspects of the JFK assassination that are untrue. That the Warren Commission said we find this to be factual, but they're untrue. Okay, I'll go as far as to say there are aspects of the Warren Commission's report that are factually untrue.
Okay.
But what they are is it is a reasonable conclusion based on what they could prove. That's what I'm asking from not only you. I think that you're feeling like I'm prosecuting you a little bit, and I don't want you to feel that
No,
way.
you're just talking over me. You get to speak wax.
Yeah, you're the victim. You're the victim, Keller. You're the victim, Keller.
Oh, yes, I'm the victim.
What I'm telling you is, what I'm asking you is, what I'm saying to you, it's insufficient for you to tell me there's suspicion and we need more investigation. I stipulate that's the case. Now you have to go the step further, or else you got nothing. And the step further is, this is what happened because of X, Y, and Z. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, well, how about this?
I did. Okay, see, everybody wants to talk over me, so
Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
Come on,
Go ahead.
Jeff, come on.
No, you guys want you guys want to.
Well, you ask questions and then wave away the answers.
Yeah, you do.
That's
I
what
don't
you're
know who
doing.
you're talking to.
You asked Pyong, going by your expertise, you said to him, what do you think? When he told you, and then I told you something, you went, no.
I responded to that, and I get talked over, and
Well, I'm sorry.
I don't want this to be.
If being told wrong makes you cry, then I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Oh, okay, you guys, this is really tedious. I'm sorry. I hate to be this way, but I don't know. I was on a conversation with G-Man that was more civil than this.
Well, here we go.
Okay, well, listen, let's start.
Really?
I hate to be like this, but you normally are.
Okay, can I
start from ground zero? Okay, listen.
Can I talk? Okay, can I just talk, please? I cannot finish. I have not been able to finish.
God damn it, Bunto.
Really, you guys?
Come on,
Go ahead,
everybody.
Jeff.
Let's get upset. Let him speak.
I've forgotten what we were talking about.
Oh, fuck's sake.
I really don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit what you guys are doing.
Jeff,
come on.
Jeff. Thanks for calling, brother.
Yeah, it was lovely.
okay, what I wanted.
Good job, Mr. Prosecutor. You totally derailed my.
Okay, let me
see. So I'm sure you feel good about yourself. So.
Oh, Jeff,
What you
were being a fucking guy.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
ahead.
listen. Let me get in on Jeff's. I'm going to join Jeff Keller's side because I know that was a conspiracy. But look, what your objection is.
I don't know that it was. I didn't say that. You continually putting words in my mouth.
Joking, Jeff.
I know that was a conspiracy. JFK was a conspiracy.
The problem you've got here is you've got Mark and Pyong, who are both experts in this area. So you're not going to get very far by playing the victim with these two.
I'm not playing a victim. I'm just trying. I want to have a conversation.
Well, I know. I was having a conversation with him. I tried to explain to you that who benefits is usually, as I put in the sidebar, some way down the line in an investigation. Especially in relation to something like JFK, the president was murdered. That wouldn't be the first thing. Well, let's go and interview Lyndon Johnson. He's probably got
But it is, and as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it is an irregular murder investigation. They want to isolate. The first one they go after is the spouse, right, or the person who would most benefit.
Jeff, please.
No.
I mean, this is a freaking...
Incorrect.
Hey
Again.
guys, stop talking over him. There you go, Jeff. See, I'm on your team now. Fucking assholes. Oh, Jeff.
Jeff, it was the most
Love you, Pong.
media in the 60s. That was the most media-covered assassination ever. I mean, that was... I don't think they...
So you think the media is an adequate investigator?
Be quiet. Let Eve speak. She's the lady in the room.
Yeah, but,
Let the lady speak, please. Thank you very much. Go on, Eve.
Well, the rest of you can speak as much as you want to. I don't really care what you think.
Well, I haven't.
So
I haven't
fuck
really
off then,
talked
because if you
that
don't
much.
care what anyone thinks, why ask stupid questions?
I think.
Well, or why
I
ask
don't care
stupid
what
people
you
stupid
say, I don't
questions?
care what you think, I don't care what your answers are, so what you here for?
Well, you don't seem to care what I say, so why should I care what you think?
Because I think what Mark's point is that the first things that are going to be looked at is the evidence provided. Like in a murder case, they're going to go to the scene, they're going to look at the evidence on the scene, they're going to collect that evidence, they're going to take pictures of that evidence, and that's what they're going to look at to see if that brings them closer to a suspect. And if it doesn't, if they have no leads from the evidence, then they might take into consideration who would be the motive, who would have a motive, who would be close to the person.
Right.
Well, I think that y'all are kind of talking past each other, because it seems that Mark was saying that that's not the first, what you're suggesting is not the first thing that they're going to take into account.
Right,
Am I
take
correct in
ballistic
saying that?
evidence. Yeah, of course. They take ballistic evidence and dust for fingerprints and all that if they're competent investigators, of course.
And they're
But,
going to allow that evidence to lead them to a suspect. If it does not lead to a suspect, then they start wondering if someone has a motive and starts looking at suspects in that way.
Right.
That was what I was trying to suggest. You would say, where did the shots come from? Up there. Let's go and look in that building. No,
Yeah,
hang on. Let's go and interview Lyndon Johnson first, because he might have something to gain.
Well, why,
That's
well,
what you were suggesting.
No, there's lots of
Fuck
people
the
that
book
could be-
depository. Let's go and
come
speak to the
on,
vice president.
Come on.
Well, that's what
can
you
happen
were suggesting, and now you're changing it.
Okay. Why can't that happen simultaneously? There were lots of investigators
doesn't happen
when the president gets
simultaneously.
shot.
It did sound like, Jeff, that you were saying that that's the very first thing that they look at.
Okay.
The very first suspect they should look at.
Well,
That's what,
there's
they
the person
should
that's
let, they
shot him
should
would
let
be the
the
one you'd look
evidence
for.
lead them to the suspect. And if the evidence doesn't lead them to a suspect, then they need to start taking into account who is who has a motive.
Exactly. You deal with the crime scene and gather the evidence, and then go where that evidence may
right,
lead.
you dust for
Don't give me-
fingerprints and all that stuff, but then
It's a
you
bit
also
more than that.
you corner the witnesses.
No,
And
Lyndon Johnson wouldn't be a witness.
Well, he was in the car behind JFK actually.
No, he wasn't. Was he? Yeah, I
Yes,
guess he was.
Yes, he was in the parade, and it was in his home
But
state.
you wouldn't
And
immediately
it was
go-
with around all of
Be-
his cronies.
He was a
Yes,
dude with a
he
rifle,
wouldn't have
right?
been a prime suspect in any way, shape, or form, or even a prime witness.
Really?
On the other hand,
Well, maybe Inspector Clouseau.
I do it for a living, Jeff, but are you dense? Are you that dense that you don't listen to people?
No,
Why are you
Don't
calling
pick
him
on
names?
Jeff like that, Mark. Look,
That's really.
Jeff's only
You want
problem.
an expert opinion. When he gets one, he says, no, no, no.
Okay, listen. Jeff's only
I
problem.
asked for an expert opinion, and I just got shouted down. So.
I've told you 5 times now that what you're saying is not how it works. I can't be any clearer than that. I'm sorry. You may have played Cluedo 3 or 4 times.
Jeff, you don't have to take that
Lyndon
shit.
Johnson.
Threaten to leave. Fuck this.
Lyndon Johnson in the dining room with a lead pipe.
Listen,
Lyndon Johnson.
Jeff's only problem is that's it. I mean, he went after the wrong guy. It's not Lyndon Johnson. It was the
I
mafia.
didn't say it wasn't Lyndon.
We've got
I
this guy
don't
called
know that it's
Oswald.
Lyndon Johnson.
We've got this guy, Sarge, we've got this guy called Oswald,
my
he's a
God.
communist, he's been to Cuba, now fuck him, let him go. Go and arrest Lyndon Johnson, he's the one we want.
It was the Cuban.
He was smiling on the
You guys
plane.
are having a party. I was having trying to have an interesting discussion.
He was smiling on the plane, and his wife could have done it because she had his brains all over her.
Oh,
Clear suspect.
that's
God,
very amusing.
Mark.
Okay,
Clear
that's
suspect.
very amusing. Yeah.
if I can defend Jeff a little bit here, I think it is easy for some people to think with it being politics, that other politicians may have been involved.
Yeah, obviously Lyndon Johnson.
And so that's probably...
He couldn't wait to get sworn in. Must have been him.
Well, he wasn't investigated. We can't rule him out.
Oh, that's because they caught the guy with the fucking gun.
Jeffrey.
They've got the shooter.
Yeah, you mentioned fingerprints, where they found Lee Harvey Oswald's fucking handprint on the rifle in the book depository where the people heard the shots come from.
I'm glad you're enjoying yourself, but you're not giving this topic its due, I don't think. You're not being very serious, but...
well, I mean, as far as circumstantial evidence goes, that's quite heavy.
You're very witty and...
It sounds
were
like
you in that building?
It
Yes.
sounds like if people disagree with you, Jeff, then they're not being serious about it. Is that what
Stop
you're saying?
talking over him, Eve.
Are you saying he's being serious? Really?
Jeff, if I said to you, that man was in that building and we found a rifle where he was sat and it's got his palm print on it, that's not
And wait,
evidence.
didn't the shooter confess eventually as well?
Well, he only lived for 24 hours after.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he was killed.
Oh,
by-
okay.
No, interestingly, I don't know.
I must be
I
mixing
hesitate
it up
to
with
talk about
another.
this seriously, but if you look at Oswald, when he was cornered, he didn't say he didn't do it. He said he was a patsy, and that's kind of interesting.
Can I
No,
just
not
say-
quite.
can I
He
just
said
say- can I-
he was asked
guys,
if
can I
he could be
just-
the president.
He said he was a patsy.
Can
No,
I
he
just
didn't.
say
He said
something?
no.
Can I say something, please? There are 13 different conspiracy theories. New Orleans, CIA, shadow
Yes.
government, military-industrial complex,
And I-
secret service, Cuban exiles, organized crime, Lyndon B. Johnson, Cuban government,
Well, we
Soviet
haven't even
government.
touched on the reptilians yet.
So why? So we,
14. It's
just
14.
because there's multiple theories, we shouldn't pay attention to any of them, or?
I didn't say that.
It's
I'm just pointing
called-
out.
Sorry,
Dude,
guys.
you seem pretty
Guys.
anti-government. Are you?
He's a
It's
libertarian.
14.
Are you one of the
It's
reptilian
14,
theories?
guys. It's 14. It's the French
Oh, come on.
Secret Service.
I don't know, you people. I don't know. If you guys want to beat up on me, I don't really care.
Well,
but
Oh,
I'm
come
not.
on. That was
Don't
a...
be a baby. We're just saying, Jeff,
we're your
that your
friend.
idea that the first
Jeff, I'm with you
first point of call
100%.
would have
Try
been
to
Lyndon
stay in the
Johnson.
room.
Okay.
Thanks, babe.
Thank
We're your
you.
friends, Jeff.
You got faith on your side, you're fine.
Excellent. Well, I
Go
mean,
get
I hope
Come
I have.
back.
I mean, I try to apply critical thinking to everything, and that's why I agree with.
That's why
Accepting
we
this
love
thing
him,
out.
Jeff.
You do realize that over-skepticism is also illogical, right?
Oh,
See,
I didn't know that.
I
Sure,
think
yes.
I think it's
I do. Yes,
You
I,
need to be
laudable
overly
that you're willing
skeptical.
to
Sorry.
dedicate some
yes, I
some
agree.
mind time to it. But again, Jeff, I don't think you're going to get anywhere unless you're able to, just saying that something is suspicious, something's rotten in Denmark, we need more investigation
well,
about
that's
this.
all. That's all I'm
not.
trying to get.
Okay.
Hey, can I
No,
say
no.
something? Can I
Yeah,
say something, please? Can I say something? Okay. Michael Kurtz wrote that there's no evidence suggesting that Johnson ordered the assassination of Kennedy. Johnson believed that Fidel Castro was responsible for the assassination and that Johnson covered up the truth because he feared the possibility that retaliatory, I can't say that word, measures against Cuba might escalate into nuclear war with the Soviet Union.
So-
2012 biographer Robert Caro published his 4th volume on Johnson's career. And he said that there is absolutely no evidence in his research to point that Johnson had any involvement.
So that's a conspiracy theory
I
that
suppose.
the Cubans
So
were.
he was his official
involved?
biographer. Robert Caro is his official biographer. So you're saying that he's in on the conspiracy
Case
as well.
dismissed.
What? That somebody's official biographer would have the actual
Court-
truth about a.
court biography.
Oh, I said you think he's in on the conspiracy as well.
I didn't say any
Just
of that.
because
I
he
don't
was
know.
vice president.
That was a rhetorical question, really. I'm just, that's
Oh,
what you're
no,
kind of suggesting.
I'm not making positive claims. I'm saying that the existing narrative, as Pyong would like to put it, is not satisfying for many people. Maybe you're satisfied with it. I don't think it's really satisfactory, and if you don't think it's important or whatever, that's fine, or you want to laugh about it, that's cool, but
I think you're taking it far too seriously, Jeff. All we're saying is when you have a leaky tap, do you call a plumber for expert advice, or do you normally sort of call a traffic
Well, if we're just having a bull session and I shouldn't take anything seriously, then
no,
okay,
you asked for expert advice. You were given that advice by two people, and then you just hand waved it away because it didn't fit with what you wanted to hear.
No, because they were talking about the trial. I was talking about the investigation.
Right, and I'm an investigator, and I'm telling you, the first person I would have gone to interview would not have been Lyndon Johnson.
Well, but if you didn't know who the killer was,
well,
you wouldn't have.
He couldn't have fired the rifle because he was in the car behind.
I'm sorry. Let me add. So, if you, as an investigator, if you didn't know who was responsible based on the ballistic evidence, you wouldn't have investigated the person who would have benefited the most by the murder.
Not if the ballistic evidence would show that person is.
No, I said if the ballistic evidence didn't show that.
Okay, let me finish then,
but it
and I'll tell
did
you.
show that it wasn't.
No, it didn't.
I'll tell you, Jeff. If you want to know, I'll tell you now.
Ballistic evidence.
The first person.
Mark just said he couldn't have a rifle in the car behind him. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah. So the person responsible for the murder couldn't have been Lyndon Johnson. So you wouldn't have interviewed him. You'd have been looking for the killer. Then once you'd found the killer, maybe. The killer may say, "Well, I was paid by other people to do it." Or I'm not telling you who. Then maybe you would have looked at who might have paid him, who would have stood.
But if he didn't happen to say that, you wouldn't have pursued that.
No, because the first person you would be looking for is a murderer.
If you found the murderer and they didn't say anything to lead you to anybody else, why would you want to look for anybody?
Exactly. You wouldn't say. I mean, as far as the police were concerned on that day, they'd found the murderer. They'd gone up to the book depository. They'd found the rifle, which they later found had Lee Harvey Oswald's handprints on it. So, as far as they were concerned, when Harvey Oswald was arrested, they'd found the man that killed the president.
What about motive?
He didn't have any hands.
What about motive? So why wouldn't you investigate the motive as to why Lee Harvey Oswald killed Kennedy?
Well, that's what I tried to
but they
tell
didn't
earlier.
get that far
plenty-
because Lee Harvey Oswald was murdered himself.
Then
they had to find
he was
out.
a communist. Lee Harvey was a known communist. He'd spent time out in Russia. He was married to a Russian. There was a whole load of stuff about him.
Right.
And he was
the
also
idea that your first person you'd go to was the vice. There were thousands of people that potentially could have benefited from JFK dying.
Yeah.
Well, of course, but there were some very immediate people, and that's the role of investigators to
No, it's not. Not in that circumstance. It's not, Jeff. It's just not.
Well, okay, can I come in for Jeff? Help poor Jeff. Okay, look, Pyong.
Poor Jeff.
Well, don't help me. I'm fine. I don't care.
I can't white knight you, Jeff. I wanted to.
What's up, Bunt?
Okay, look, Pyong.
Why did they not investigate President Bush when 9/11 happened?
Mark, can I please finish a sentence without you?
They should have.
Yeah, you're pretty obnoxious, Mark.
Look, Pyong,
Yeah.
you say that you have a problem with somebody saying there's something wrong in Denmark and then following it by there should be more investigation, right?
No. I don't have any problem with it. I understand. I let people do whatever they want if they want to have fun with that kind of stuff. But if you want to persuade
Very gracious
that
of you.
you're welcome, Jeff. Stop talking over me, you son of a. I'll leave this fucker.
My
Okay,
turn.
Motherfuckers.
My turn now.
Okay, what I was going to bring up, Pyong, is that like a week or 2 weeks after the assassination, if I said there's something wrong here and there should be further investigation, I'm within my rights, right?
Well, but see, typical.
I shouldn't be called a conspiracy theorist.
if you're talking barbershop conversation, sure, But the unfortunate thing is these investigations are handled by a group of people. They're closed. And we don't get to second guess them. I mean, that's just the way it is. So it's okay if somebody wants to say, there's something suspicious here, it doesn't work out. You know what, as a matter of fact, Mark reminded me this one time I spoke to a detective. I don't handle many criminal cases. Matter of fact, I only handled one where this guy was like, I got to go to jail because I want to dry out, I got to get off. And I was like, you want to go to jail? I'm your guy. But so typically I don't handle criminal cases. But I did speak to a detective one time, and we were talking about these witness testimonials and how they didn't match up.
Right.
And I said, and he said to me, if they matched up, I would think something was wrong.
Okay,
See what I'm
interesting.
saying? So
Yeah,
there's always
witness
something that's
testimonies.
suspicious.
Well, that's
What's
what
that?
Mark said at the beginning. But can I just slip something in here? Just one little thing. Did you know, Jeff, that 7 months before the assassination, that Oswald fired into the home of an army general called Edwin
Right.
Walker, and that they found an entire book of operations for what he was going to do to Walker, including photographs of Walker's house, you know, and the rifle and all that. Did you know that?
That's true, Jeff. Could have been planted, though, Annabelle. See?
No, I'll accept that it's true. I don't have a personal stake in.
Okay,
No,
the guy
it's
was a
interesting
whack
because
job.
what basically what they're saying is he tried to do something similar before, and he was a rabid communist.
He was pinpointing politicians is the point.
Yeah.
Well, authority figures.
Yeah.
He was crazy. The guy was crazy, without a doubt, and he used to beat the crap out of his wife all the time as well.
The thing is that we learned
Everybody
so much.
did that back then.
One second. Okay, we learned so much more. We learned so much more after the Warren Commission. Doesn't it merit an opening of the case?
No,
I think.
Why
I mean,
not? I mean, those
all
guys
of this
did
stuff.
no
All of
dick.
this stuff. This
did
is
they
all,
interview the vice president when Lincoln was assassinated? No, they went.
No,
after-
they shouldn't.
Well, we
shot
knew
him.
that was a
No,
conspiracy.
can I have after every presidential assassination, the official story has been it was a lone nut.
It usually is, though, Jeff. That's
But
Yeah,
not
exactly.
the one.
Yeah, well,
yeah. Well, it is usually is. In my experience, as for 30 years, it usually is
But-
in murder cases.
Well, that's-
either someone
In the
Yeah,
Lincoln
it's a
assassination,
story.
they hung several people for that assassination. Remember the woman? They also hung a woman in connection with the Lincoln assassination.
yeah, and
I
they,
know.
I don't
they
know what
hung
the law was.
the doctor of Booth as well, Mudd. His name was Mudd. That's where
There was some sort of conspiracy to knock off governmental figures that night that they killed President Lincoln. Yeah, they made a movie of it, the Lincoln conspiracy.
Oh, there you go.
Did they accuse
Look, you guys.
Did they accuse who was the guy that shot Reagan?
Hinckley.
Hinckley.
Did they investigate the deputy?
The guy who made the gun?
No,
The vice president?
Did they investigate the vice president then, when Reagan was shot?
He seems like the
In case he had
most
nothing to do with
likely.
it.
He seems
Nobody
to,
investigates the
he
Bush.
seems to be the most likely to have been alone.
No, but look at this, guys. You're telling
Most
me
likely,
that-
according to what? You're just putting stuff out there.
Well,
Where's your,
compared to the others.
Okay, listen.
in what way? Evidence.
Okay,
Go ahead,
look,
Ponto.
Dude,
we know that
I'm
the
having
Warren
a conversation with you. I'm just saying that compared to the other cases.
Well, not you're making
he seems
assertions
the most
without
likely.
anything. In
Oh,
what
for
way?
God's sakes!
How?
Why? I didn't
What
know I was
brings
on
you
the
to that
witness
conclusion?
stand. I'm just saying that he seems the most fringe compared
This
to.
is Google
Okay,
Plus.
I
You're always
get you're
on
saying that, Jeff, but I'm
It's
asking
not.
you, as part of the discussion, you saying he seems the most likely. Oh, well, why is that, Jeff? And you're going, don't grill me.
That's my opinion.
All right, that's it then.
Well,
just
it seems
throw
that
it
that
It's just my opinion.
it seems that it stems from your
libertarian.
distrust of the government, though.
Hmm.
Yes, libertarian, I would have to say, is major.
What's your response to that, Jeff?
No, I don't
I love
think
you,
it really
Ponto.
does. It seems to my
Okay, Jeff, if I said to you,
my respect for facts. So I think
What
no,
facts?
What facts?
What facts?
What facts?
What facts? What facts?
What facts?
If I just said to you casually, if I say to you casually, Jeff, it just seems to me they didn't land on the moon, and you said, well, what makes you think that? No, it's just my opinion. Okay,
No flaps.
Well, if it is my
No flaps,
opinion, then
Mark.
that's
based on what? I'm
There were no
interested.
flaps.
No,
Oh, Jeff, please tell me that you think the moon landings were fake. You don't, do you?
I would love it if the moon landings were fake, but I think they're real.
Oh, phew.
Anyway, listen. We know the
I
Warren
am
Commission.
not a conspiracy.
We know the Warren Commission sucked, and then you guys
You
don't
would
want to
love
have
to
another.
portray me as that because I know you
You just
hate
hate
other
vice presidents. I think
libertarian
I
views,
think you just
No,
got a thing
I
about
do.
vice presidents. That's all it is.
No, I just
Politics.
don't think I don't think presidential assassinations are adequately investigated in the way that murder investigations normally occur. Where
Okay, Jeff, you realize that's opinion, right?
And what?
Jackie,
Yeah.
stop. Everyone stop.
Nothing to back it.
well, of course, it's my opinion.
Hi. I would never expect to see you here. Wow, I never come outside my comfort zone. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks.
I don't even know what's going on.
I know.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Jeff,
Chaos.
it's only Jeff, the conspiracy theorist. He's giving us his conspiracy theories.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
I'm joking.
What?
I'm
You
joking.
guys- Lyndon Johnson did it. He wasn't investigated properly, but he got away with
No,
it.
that doesn't mean he didn't. That he wasn't investigated properly. Shame on you. What kind of logic is that, you?
Didn't someone
you
kill
fake-
Lyndon
you
Johnson? Didn't
poser.
Lyndon Johnson get assassinated?
Okay, listen.
Sorry guys, didn't Lyndon Johnson get assassinated himself, by the way?
No.
All right, so I'm thinking.
He died at his ranch in Texas.
The vice president of Lyndon Johnson wanted to kill him, but no one thought of asking.
Okay, let me ask you guys. Let me ask
So
Mark.
is there like a lot of presidential assassinations that were done by the vice president? I mean, why else would you think?
Well, there were my only point is that the vice presidents were never investigated. So
Why would they be?
Oh God, Jeff, that is so
well,
weird.
why wouldn't they be?
Because they're not the ones that committed the fucking crime. What's wrong with
But they were the ones that benefited.
No, it doesn't matter.
Oh, you guys. Oh,
How many
I'm
times do you
surprised.
have to be told?
I'm shocked at how your investigative.
Yes, you
instincts are
try
so.
to find out who committed the crime, and that's where you stop. You don't go.
I
"Well, that's
don't
the
mean.
guy
I
that
don't
shot
mean.
him."
No, it doesn't mean that they did it. It just means why weren't they investigated?
Because they had nothing to do with it.
9/11 is an inside job.
Oh, well, you
Guys,
come to know that.
Guys,
Guys.
Jeff, were you investigated?
It's not a vice president to my
Yes, I
knowledge.
thought. Hang on.
He wasn't alive then.
I didn't really
So what-
benefit much
so
by
what
the
doesn't
Kennedy
matter.
assassination.
But
He might have
Jeff,
had something to do with it. He might have had something to gain from it just after he was born. Well, I'm going to give the FBI
It certainly don't fit in with your libertarian views, so why wouldn't you benefit?
Oh, you guys, this is like a religious discussion. I should go back to the
Libertarianism? I agree.
It's something
I really
Jeff,
had a more intelligent exchange with the G-Man
You've
today.
already mentioned that one, Jeff, and no one cared the first time.
Come on, Jeff.
I think if I know it's something alien to you, Jeff, but it's called
Adam.
sense of humour. You may have heard of it.
I'd like to point
If
out
I
there
didn't have a
wasn't a
sense of humor, I wouldn't still be here.
there wasn't a single French person investigated.
Oh, that's very amusing.
Okay, listen, I'm going to come to Jeff's defense. Okay, the Warren Commission sucked. Why don't we reopen the case and settle the issue, right? With
Yeah.
modern technology.
Yeah.
Oh, it's far too late. Everybody's dead.
No, there you go. Oh, it's too late.
Yeah.
So there was probably a coup d'état in 63,
Holy shit, Sherlock.
and nobody really wants to.
I don't think you can find a jury that hasn't seen
Look
the
at the
film,
1976. Oh, never mind.
can we agree there was more than one shooter, though?
Yeah. The guy in the grassy knoll.
The grassy knoll.
Jeff, go and look up the House Select Committee on Assassination.
I'm glad you think this is all so funny. So
Wait,
Well, I think,
Exactly.
I think they're just making a
I
humor.
mean, he was Catholic.
Why not?
We should have a serious investigation by the G+ Great Debate community into the JFK assassination. Why not? Hang on.
Jeff, go and
There
look
you
up
go.
the
JFK,
House Select
okay.
Committee on Assassinations in 1976. The report came out the following, I think.
And like, who handed in the report, Mark? Gerald Ford.
1979, the report concluded that Kennedy was probably assassinated as the result of a conspiracy.
And who handed in the report? Dick Cheney? Seen pattern?
Lyndon Johnson was involved, probably.
okay, you guys, I'll be right back. I gotta.
Oh, Jeff.
I think it's appropriate to apply skepticism to any major event, but I think that, like, if the evidence and you know, like, the case has already been solved, they have JFK's they know who assassinated JFK, right?
Yeah.
I don't know much about it. Yeah. So I mean.
Yes, but
So-
Jackie, he doesn't believe that he did it. He thinks that Lyndon B. Johnson did it.
Or at least he
Or
should
has
have
it, or has it organised?
Oh, you thought Lyndon did it? I thought it was Lady Bird.
That doesn't make any sense because someone as big as him would, have alibis. I mean, he probably had an alibi, right?
I think what got caught in Jeff's head, I think really, and I don't mean to try to dissect what's going on here, but it seems like he's making a lot to do with this who stands to benefit kind of thing.
Right.
And, and sometimes I've heard of that used before, but like I said before, yeah, of course you need a motive in the narrative, but I think he's kind of got it backwards. Maybe he read something and they said it was like a big deal or something. Well, who stands?
Theoretically, well, it's because Lyndon Johnson was supposedly smiling on the plane, and he was sworn in on the plane, which was unusual before they even met Alice. And also, I mean, theoretically, you could say Lyndon Johnson's wife may have had something
Apparently,
to gain
he
by
said he'd said at a cocktail party that he was going to finish off the Kennedy family. I mean, this is all hearsay.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, Lyndon Johnson's wife, as I said, could have been
A lot of
had
people
some.
said that.
Shut up, Bunso. Lyndon Johnson's wife could have had something to gain because she may have wanted to frame her husband because she didn't like him and it's just ridiculous.
Well, she's got
Right,
a
but
lovely pair of nose, Mark.
In more of a
Or
meta,
she could have wanted her husband in that position.
Yeah.
in more of
Also,
a meta explanation of why
Lyndon's a French
Jeff
name.
thinks it's important. Not necessarily if it has any credibility. And there's no way that we can assign it any credibility.
But the same thing happened in the UK when Diana died. They immediately, why hasn't someone interviewed the Queen and Prince Philip? Well, because they weren't.
But look, you know what the biggest part of the conspiracy theory is that on the day that she died, they didn't bring the flag down half-mast, which is what they usually do when royalty dies or when anybody.
It's the same idea, though, isn't it? That the Queen had something to gain, so they should have interviewed her first. No.